I can't be the only one that has this problem with their table saw. Doesn't matter what kind of blade I put on there. Doesn't matter. It's going to leave these deep grooves that I just can't get rid of real easy while standing. It drives me up the wall. Like crazy up the wall. Crazy. Crazy. Now, last night, I was on the computer and the light bulb came on. It was bright. Really, really bright. The hydro bill is going to be expensive this month. Really expensive. And the idea was pretty simple. Machine your arbor on your table saw. The thing spins at 3,000 RPM. How hard can it be? Just do it. Well, I decided to go to Key and Tire and get what I needed, which was a really cheap stone, sharpening stone. Well, this is my solution right here. First, I took a piece of scrap hardwood from my hardwood scrap pile, something that I would never use on anything. We're going to use it on here. I drilled a couple of holes on it with my drill press. Well, that's until the head, like my drill chuck, the chuck of my drill came completely off of my drill press. Never happened to me before. The thing is that usually there's a bolt or something holding these things together. It's usually cross thread, so like the opposite tread, so left-hand tread, to make it harder for it to like come out and stuff. This thing doesn't have that. It's just an old-fashioned, press thing. Or just press it in. It's like a conical shape or whatever, and the friction should hold everything together. So I put it on the vise, pushed as hard as I was willing to. I should say willing to. Didn't want to break anything, especially not the handle on my vise. Yeah, it's still straight. That's good. And put it back on there, and I finished the holes. Now I had these magnets over here. They're super powerful magnets that can turn on and off. They're super useful for jig making and stuff like that, because you're talking about 350 pounds of pressure going right down on this cast iron top, so it makes it hard for you to move these things around. So what I'll do, I'll leave a link to the description of these magnets over here. Look, what works, it works. I could have just clamped it down, but that would be pretty impossible. I needed something that would keep the thing there stationary and, whatever. So I bought the cheapest, the absolute cheapest sharpening stone at Canadian Tire. The brand is Mastercraft for you American people. They're the house brand for the Canadian Tire store that every Canadian knows about. So just bought the cheapest thing they had, and I would never recommend this stone to anybody that would sharpen anything other than an axe. Even an axe probably will recommend something else. This thing is coarser than coarse. Anyways, where am I? Yeah. So what I did is just clamped it down onto the piece of wood that was, pressed down by these magnets on my tabletop. And then I just, raised and lowered the arbor. Basically at this 45-degree angle that you see right now. Just raised back and forth until there was no more sparks. Pushed it down a little bit further. Did the same thing until, I decide, what the hell? I'm going to go ahead and put a Sharpie mark on there. Make sure there's no more high spots. There wasn't. So gotta be ready to go, I guess. And I decided to try it out with my blades. And sure enough, my saw cuts like a different saw, like a better saw. Almost like it was designed to do. I don't understand why acceptable tolerances from the factory are not acceptable for 99% of the woodworkers. This should have never happened. But it did. And it happens to a lot of people. So hopefully this video helps out. If you like this video, subscribe, like, leave me your comments on what your problem is and if I can find a solution. If the light bulb comes on, I'll let you know about it.